Hello everyone, and welcome to the docu-series. In this series, I'm going to be teaching you exactly how to trade, understanding the mechanical framework behind the SMC concept, battle between supply and demand, and liquidity inducement theory. This series is going to be a very serious one, so I will advise you guys to pay close attention so you can learn from it. This is very crucial because once you master this act and understand every single thing I'm going to teach in this series, you're done, you're set for trading. And I can go as deep as teaching my personal risk management system, which is very important. Risk management is key, and I'll give you my risk management system so you could play along with it, and you will also build your own rules behind it. So with that being said, let me open EURUSD since that's the most traded pair. When we look at it, let's start from daily time frame. 4 hour in this case. So this is EURUSD, and I always start from the higher time frame because you're going to understand the overall objective of the weekly. You're going to understand the overall weekly objective. So in this case, what I'm gonna do is, look, some people gonna say this is a break of structure. Yes, it is a break of structure, but this, if you look at this break of structure, it is indeed. It is not a weekly break of structure. However, it is a monthly break of structure. Because the reason why I use the H4, you can also use the daily, but whatever, doesn't really make a difference. It's pretty much the same, yeah. So I use the H4 to understand the overall objective. I use the H4 time frame to understand the overall weekly objective. And if I'm using this swing, for instance, this as a projected swing, and above there as the crazy swing, and the break of the structure is now a break. Yes, it is a break of structure, but it's a lot more advanced. That's not what we should be looking at because it would not facilitate our trading decision. But you could also leave it there to understand, also to have in mind the overall monthly swing and the monthly range. Well, that's not what we are here for. So I'm going to just focus on the weekly range. This is a BOS. And then what? So I use this little ping pong tool to spot out the projected swing. I'm going to make this red for bearish, the BOS itself, and then finally the projected swing. That's if price set to continue bullish this way. So that's pretty much everything I see. There's no any clean demand. Okay, this is a nice supply level the price reacted from. So this week, the week we see above is just liquidity grab. If you understand the concept of liquidity itself, I'm going to make this my supply level because price reacted off that level, but it doesn't facilitate anything because we do not use 4 HPYs to enter trade. It doesn't work that way here. So this is pretty much everything I see on this time frame. And now, since we've got all of this confluence together, we've got the BOS, projected swing, liquidity swing. Now we've got a 4-hour range. We've got the daily range. I'm sorry, we've got the weekly range. So from this level, from top to bottom here, that is our weekly range. And as you can see, this was on. No, it's pretty much, it's a long time. And now we've got weekly range, and that we could work with. Sorry, and that's out of the way. Our work on the H4 is done. So the next thing to do is to go on the M15 time frame. So now work with the M15 structure, just the same way we did on the daily time on the H4 time frame. So your higher time frame can be any time frame, just what you're comfortable with. If you want to use the weekly, it's fine. So I like to start from the top, from the projected swing itself, down to the BOS bar. So this was the reason of the change of the objective, and this was why. Sorry about that. This was why price shift from this bullish run to the bearish run because of this break. And I have a ping pong tool that I use for the M15. I'm gonna make this green for bearish. I'm gonna make this green for bullish. So that's the ping, like so. there's a loop of space so that this guy is gonna have a spot, and price decided to finally break to the lowest point. I'm gonna make this red because it's now price has shifted bearish, and this is the lower high, lower low, lower high, I said something here. It's more comfortable using that level. Then here, this is the H4. That's for the H4. And then the break of structure finally. So I'm gonna just delete this and make this green for bullish. And we can all agree that this is a successful break of structure. So now let's go back to this level to Monday. And so I'm gonna just walk us through the whole week and all the possible opportunities that were available on EURUSD. So price reacted off the supply level from the H4, and it's enough confidence to start to see rejection. To start to see, the continuation downward, because price is already heavily trending bearish on the H4 time frame. So this 15-minute bullish trend was just to facilitate the H4 pullback. And as the H4 pullback was over, price reacted off this supply level and decided to continue downwards. That was a break of structure, and after BOS we expect pullback because we want to always buy low and sell high, right? So, and we should also put in mind that anytime we're trading, we should have, this sort of tool. It's very important because you don't want to be buying when you're supposed to be selling, and you want to be selling when you're supposed to be buying. What I'm trying to say is, we don't want to be buying when price is already overbought, and we don't want to be selling when price is already oversold. In other words, we want to buy at a very discounted level, which is below here, and we want to sell when price is always here. So this middle line is the EQ, is the equilibrium. So if price reaches that level or crosses the level, then it will definitely change our motive on any type of time frame or any type of trend we're in. In this case, price pull back to this level. We're rest assured that the lower high can be forming at any time because the objective is already complete and price has already pulled back to EQ. So we can start to see retracement from that level, and we should, trading, looking for buys at this level is pretty much high risk, and we should not be doing something like that. So rather, we should buy to the EQ. We get to the EQ and we get a change of character of any sort of bearish momentum and write it down back to the liquidity level. Or it was a very clean price action. There's not much to do because we see a high. There's no break of change of character here because this is going to be the change of character swing. But we've got high, low, and high, which means the buyers are not present in the market, and it is what it is. Then we could like spot out this and bring this guy into consideration and labeling it as a demand level and wait for the M1 character. However, as you can see, I'm not subscribed to TradingView, so I cannot go back thus far in time. So let's focus on the most recent price action as of only this week, because this was already last week Thursday. So price reversed to some level, fill out, right head off some sort of supply level, clean shit. The week above is just absorption, and when it comes to setting POI, we can always factor in follables, which is pretty much nice. So I'm gonna make this supply level because it is supply. Price came down, breaking the structure, and after then the same complex, the same concept except pullback. I'll start to see a change of character here. Apart from the change of character, I start to see bearish momentum, bullish momentum. However, start to see a high, a higher low, a high, a low, high, and higher low, things like that. So we should always put in mind that we don't want to be buying when prices already cross the EQ. So you could always use this tool. And you can see price was nowhere near the EQ. So the only valid thing to be doing was just to be looking for like buying or looking for buying opportunities. So price open because my session opened around 7 a.m. London time, and I start my pre-session analysis exactly around 6. So this was a demand level, and this was the demand, but it doesn't fit the criteria to be a POI. And this is another demand level. Right after the session opens, I'm gonna make this demand. Price got to that level. If you notice closely, prices it's not already at the EQ, but we start to see what demand failing, and supply is taking over. It's very clear to see the pullback is over. We start to see change of character, and you know, always do something like this. Make a change of character. And do it like this. So already start to see change of character, and this is the decision point for change of character. Price went up but never respected the level, never fulfilled or even entered the zone. However, the price continued downward, breaking the structure. And if you can agree with me that this is the extreme level that was responsible for that. This was the decision point, but the decision point, however, didn't even have any balance in it, so it's not even qualified to be a POI. So this is a valid supply level that we could be looking for entries from. So this so firstly, I want to support out all of the possible supply and demand level before we go to the M1. So that when we're already on the M1, there's no reason to come back on the M15. So this is exactly how we spot our demand levels and supply level, and this is how we get our POIs and stuff. So finally, this was the break of the daily swing, and that was the reason why we've got this is some sort of like the weekly objective. So since the weekly time frame is already bullish, because on the H4 we see everything about the week. That's why I call it the weekly time frame sometimes, because it tells us all we should be expecting, and essentially the weekly objective. So price drops since after this break of structure. This is the most deepest pullback from this level, and that's why I kind of like just spotted this as a demand, as a protected swing, because it respected some level, finally reacting off some supply level, because none of this reacted off supply after the BOS. That's why that was a swing for me, and now we're trading within this swing. Then after a BOS, because there's a little BOS, expect pullback. You can start to see the complex pullback forming up because of the change of character. We got high, low, it doesn't respect that. However, it came down, making this a high, and this is the low. But price has already crossed the EQ. If I'm gonna use this tool for you guys to see. So price has already crossed the EQ even from just getting to this level. So there's no reason to be looking for selling, for buying opportunities. Rather, we should be looking for selling opportunities if there's any. So price got to this level and portrayed this week for obvious reasons. Don't know why. So this is a supply level that price reacted off, and but we're not really interested in buying. All we want to see is the shift in momentum, and we want to be working with the sellers. So this was the change of character, and this was responsible for the break. However, it's already mitigated because I drew this level, this zone here. Don't know if you can see properly, but this grey candle has already mitigated it. So we just drag it down to the grey candle instead. So that is our supply level. So it's got imbalance, and now it has all of the requirements to be a POI in that case. So then price drop heavily. Same old concept, to expect pullback and price pullback to some level because of how small the ranges are. So compared to the previous ranges, from this high to this low, that's a very, very long range. It is very wild compared to the newly formed range. It's just the price. Just as if the price has been shrunk down, and we should be patient and work with it. So same old concept, respect that change of character. We got the change of character. Price pullback, but never came to the extreme. Plus the extreme in this case is the decision point. So we should just patiently wait for some opening before the break of structure. However, I don't think there was something so clean. But yeah, there is a clean supply level there that has every, all of the conferences, all of the criteria before it was mitigated, and we're gonna look into it very soon. And after that supply level, we've got another supply level right before this break that met all of the criteria. I'm gonna make this supply and make it also supply. So I guess that's pretty much everything, because after this break of structure, we expect pullback, and the complex pullback started to come in before, in no time we've already crossed the EQ, and there's no reason to be looking for buying opportunities. However, we should be looking for selling opportunities. So, and there was a nice conference here, a nice POI, but it doesn't meet the criteria to be in the POI, so we should not be working with it. So this was now the only supply level that we could work with. It was extreme, however, but price never went there and came back. Price was just breaking down. We don't want to miss it. We want to work with price right through to the end, so it's better to stick to it and work with what we see. This was a nice supply level, but it doesn't meet the criteria to be a POI because it was already a sufficient price. There was no inefficiency there. It was efficient pricing. So this was another supply level. I guess that's all of the valid POIs for us. So what we'll do now from this time is just to go to the M1 and show you exactly how we enter, and show you our entry models and the conferences we wait for, and exactly how we use all the flow and the mechanical framework behind our entries. So this is the M1. You might see it's a little bit complicated, but it is what it is. I don't know. I'm not subscribed to TradingView, so you might be seeing some warning messages. So that's it. So price came to demand, and I still use this tool, but for the M1 it's a little bit different. So we've got this high. But the reason why I'm starting from this level is because it is the extreme level as far as pulling back to demand. So I start from the top down to the bottom, and on the flip side I start from the bottom to the top. So it's just like that for me. So I want to know exactly where price change objective, where the M1 shift bearish, and exactly where the M1 shift bullish. So that's just it. Or in this case, let's say price is exactly here, and I want to know exactly where M1 is going to shift bullish, and I'll work with what I see from that level. So just duplicate this. This was now the swing responsible for this break, and this is the break itself. So I think for now that's just what really matters. Just this 3 point, the break of structure, the protector swing, the freezy swing, and how the protector swing was taken. So I can now boldly say this. It's like the red. So because this was now the break of structure. And this is just a week, so it wasn't a break of structure in my book. I'm gonna change this to M1 BOS. So now the same old thing. We're expecting break of structure towards the upside. And for the BOS here, after price reached this level, pulled back a little bit and dropped heavily. So I could actually I could use this as the backup, and then because price has already shifted bearish, and then this is that's my BOS on the M1. So this zone here is the decision point and also the extreme. I'm gonna make this entry. That's the decision point and also the extreme, but however price never got to that level. But that's not the only thing about entry criteria, because there's a lot to it. So this is the whole M1 range. The same concept to apply on the H4, M15, 1 hour, any time frame you can apply it. So price moved up, break structure here, and also took out this extreme high for argument's sake. So price pulled back into the EQ, hasn't yet mitigated the extreme or the position, the decision point, and we start to see change, which is the break of structure here. In other words, the internal shift in structure, which is the change of character. And price has already crossed the EQ. It's you can see this is a change of character. I'm gonna make this a chalk. This is a change of character, leaving imbalance, closing on this candle, because for an imbalance we need to see 3 candles. This, the first candle, the imbalance candle itself, and then the closing candle. And then if there's still space there, and it's confirmed to be an imbalance. So that's the imbalance level. We've got the zone here. We just set a limit order like this. Define to this level and just add a pipette 1.7 just for any other thing. So in this case, where there's nothing on the left, and the only thing I could see on the left was just, you know, this swing, and it's a very short and a strict price action. It's not that, you know, it's not too wild. It's just from this level to this level, and that's the only thing you could target in. So I'm gonna just refine this to 1 pip. Do what I do, 1 pip exactly, and then just target 10 pip, just like that. Just target 10 pip and just allow it to run. Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly what I do in such scenarios, and I just allow, you know, I just price to do his thing and just run. So this was exactly what I could have done in this scenario, and so as you can see, it was very nice. So if I had this in place again, I'm gonna apply this same concept. It's just, you know, it's never get old. Price came into demand and we're expecting, you know, the same old thing. So I like to know exactly where price shifted bullish, where price shifts from bullish to bearish coming into the demand, and also where price shift from bearish to bullish to signify and give me an entry for my trade. So we need to understand the nature of this pullback, the nature of the trend. So in this case, we got this pullback. Price moved up because this pullback wasn't too deep, but this pullback was deep indeed. So we had this chain break of structure here. I'm not gonna use that tool because it's going to take a long time sketching it out. But however, if I'm doing my analysis every single day, I used to use that M1 ping pong tool. However, that was the break of structure that signifies the change of momentum here. So this was another break to this level. Price pulled back a little bit, but however, it didn't last. Price drops significantly and then finally breaking this high, because in my opinion, I'm gonna say this is the swing high. Yeah, so on this boy here, we see price drops. I decided to pull back for some sorry, my bad. And I'm using a fresh and a clean price action, so this was actually the swing. This was the actual swing. So I had this in mind, this extreme level, because it was responsible for the break of this, you know, this big boy here. It was very, very clean. And then what else? I had this in mind, but same old thing, same old concept. It's never get old. This was the range, the trading range. Price crossed into EQ, and we start to get change of character. As you can see, this was the change of character. Leaving out the extreme blank. Use this. So however, in this case, and with this price action, this is Wanda. Price never got to. This is Wanda. So in this scenario, this price never got to this level. But however, in FXCM, actually filled this zone, and that was a trade. So I'm gonna show you in a bit, but for now, let's just go through and go through the rest of them trades. Same concept here. Price was pulling back. This was a break of structure on the M1. So this was now some sort of, you know, the decision point, because this was the last pullback that facilitated that BOS. But we don't really take trades like that. But let's focus on this. Price was going, pulled back a little bit and breaking the structure, and this was now the decision point. This was a decision point, but it was not really in our trading session. So that was a it doesn't meet our criteria at all. So the way we do, if you don't get entry on the first 3 legs, then we just leave it. Which means, for example, this is a POI, price come into our POI, and finally break in. This is the first leg. Then if you don't get entry on the second leg, and then on the third leg like this, then we just allow the trade to play out. We leave price action. We don't really follow it everywhere it goes. And for a trade that has such long, a very very distant TP, and the TP is already fulfilled, and we've got fulfillment in class, it's better to stay away from that trade and just focus on something else. So this is another setup. I like to see where price change broke structure. So this is exactly where price decided to shift from this bearish run to a bullish run to facilitate the pullback back into supply. So everything was going fine until we got this break, and that was a break of structure. And this zone here actually facilitated that break of structure. And this is the zone. I just say a limit order like this. Like so. And target this most recent swing. Well, let's see what we got. 11 hours, so it's just like so. I don't even need to refine anything. Don't need no refinement, so I just bang easy peasy. I said it was nothing. That's a nice demand level. And when price came into this demand, it was around 5 a.m. What will I be doing around 5 a.m.? Let's observe this trades also. Same thing. Okay, this was kind of like price was pulling back on the M15, and started to see shift in bearish momentum and bullish momentum from bearish to bullish, from bullish to bearish. Sorry, I used to always get this wrong. Whenever I want to say bullish, I'll say bearish. In most cases, when I want to say bearish, I'll say bullish. When I want to say bearish, I'm gonna say bullish. So this was the POI, but doesn't really make any sense because POI is already a very large one and the ranges are short. So I don't think I'll be doing anything here. Yeah. In this case, price came to this level. 3 p.m. was news on Wednesday, and there was not really to do on this price action. So coming to the close. Okay, let's observe this. Same thing. This was the break that facilitated the pullback. Price came into demand, and this was some sort of like the extreme low, and then price pulled back for some time. Didn't really mean anything because there was no break. Price went in and finally breaking the structure. So after this break, this was exactly where this was the decision point, because it was the last pullback that facilitated the break of the structure. Because the first break here, as you can see, it is a break, yes, but it was just weeks, and the actual break came in after. So I will set my limit order here. And this zone is a very small zone to target, so I'm gonna still use the same concept. I don't want to refine much and miss my trade. 1 pip, and I'll target 10 pip. However, it didn't work out that way. It came back to break even. So this is how it works. If I have a zone like this, I just refine it to a pip, and then I target 10 pip. That's how I do it. And that's pretty much everything. Okay, there was another level here. Price came into demand, into supply, put the structure here, and this is the decision point. And this would have been an easy L. I guess that's pretty much everything. As you can see, this is a loss. I'm gonna put X here. So this was a loss, a BE, trade 11R, and a trade 10R. That's pretty much everything. That's exactly how we trade nowadays, and I hope you learn a lot from this. Put in mind that this sort of series will be coming out every single time, and today is currently yes, so like September 9th, Saturday, and I'll probably do a video later in the day talking about another pair and exactly how we take out the entry. So watch out for the GBP USD trades, GBP USD pair breakdown for the whole week, and stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching up until this moment. See you next time.